When people hear Missouri, what usually comes to mind are big cities like St. Louis, Kansas City, or the calming natural beauty of the Ozarks. But beyond the sparkle, there's another side that rarely gets attention. A line of small towns that are slowly losing their pulse. These aren't just quiet towns. They're places stuck in stagnation, with struggling economies, and young people choosing to leave in search of a more certain future. From historic but aging Glasgow to Wheaton, which feels almost frozen in silence. So get ready, because we're going on a virtual tour of the 15 worst small towns in Missouri. Not to bash them, but to face the reality that often gets left off the tourist map and state promotions. At the southern tip of Missouri lies Caruthersville, a small town with many stories, but rarely in the spotlight. Over 25% of its residents live below the poverty line, and household income averages around $36,000 per year, well below the national average. But that's not the only concern. Crime is part of daily life. Imagine 1 in 34 people at risk of becoming a victim. And the future? Not so bright. High school graduation rates are low, and the chance of going to college is even slimmer. Not far from the bustle of St. Louis is Jennings, a small town that almost shares the same zip code, but lives a very different reality. Just minutes from downtown, Jennings is known for its troubling crime rates. It's not just theft. Gun violence is something residents are all too familiar with. Tension between residents and the police is a regular part of life. In some areas, empty homes and damaged streets are hard to ignore. Many families rely on social assistance due to the lack of job opportunities. Poplar Bluff, located in southeastern Missouri, might look busy on the surface. But underneath daily life, the city is hurting, an opioid crisis. Drug addiction isn't just a personal issue anymore. It's reached schools, homes, and workplaces. Poverty is clearly visible, from rundown buildings and closed shops to shrinking job options. Healthcare services, especially mental health care, can't keep up with the growing demand. The town is bigger than most small towns, but for many young people, Poplar Bluff feels like a trap that's hard to escape. In Missouri's Delta region, Malden is a picture of a town slowly running out of breath. Its population keeps dropping every year. People are leaving, chasing hope elsewhere. The main streets are growing emptier, and abandoned buildings stand as signs of a struggling economy. Jobs are increasingly hard to find. Many factories have closed, and the service sector can't handle the rising number of unemployed. Young people leave after high school, leaving behind a town now mostly made up of older residents. Schools and public facilities still operate, but the life around them is fading. Madison isn't a crumbling town, but it's not growing either. It feels stuck between two worlds, quiet and stagnant. Its population is only about 500. The average household income is around $44,000 as a year, enough to get by, but not enough to build much. Roughly 1 in 5 residents lives in poverty. There's no university, no major industry. The schools are still there. Elementary, middle, and high school under the Madison C3 district. But signs of progress are nearly invisible. Simple private homes sell for around $80,000, cheap but not promising. Tucked away in Missouri's Boot Heel in Dunklin County, Arbyrd is a small town with a population of around 400. At a glance, it looks peaceful. Quiet streets, and a calm rural atmosphere. But the numbers tell a different story. The average household income here is just about $37,000 a year, and nearly 1 in 5 residents lives below the poverty line. The per capita income doesn't even reach $21,000, showing just how tough the economy is. The local school is still operating under the Southland C9 district, and the community keeps working to protect the future of their children. But there's another shadow hanging over the town. Crime in Arbyrd is 70% higher than the national average, with a 1 in 26 chance of becoming a victim. In southwest Missouri, Washburn isn't widely known. Its population sits around 450. On paper, it's a simple and peaceful town, but in reality, many homes now sit empty, and streets that were once active feel quiet and still. Not because of disaster, but because hope has slowly faded. The average household income is around $38,000 a year, and the poverty rate is at 20%. Jobs are nearly non-existent, and one by one, local businesses have shut down. Elementary and middle schools still operate under the Southwest RV District, but once students graduate, most young people leave and never come back. 9 miles to the northeast is Wheaton, home to about 650 people, but that number keeps shrinking. This town doesn't draw tourists, nor is it something locals brag about. Instead, it's known for its emptiness. Stores have closed for good, and the main street feels like it's forgotten how to stay alive. The average household income is only around $33,000, and more than a quarter of the residents live in poverty. Public services are limited, healthcare is hard to access, and public transportation is nearly non-existent. The school still runs, but with tight funding, and many teachers have to take on multiple roles. Located in Howard County, Armstrong is home to just about 240 people. Over the decades, that number has steadily declined. There's no shopping center, no industrial area, and barely any signs of new development. Household income sits at around $35,000, with over 20% of residents living in poverty. Job options are extremely limited. Many have to commute to other towns daily just to make ends meet. The local school falls under the Fayette R3 district, but higher education is not easy to access from here. Nicknamed the Magic City for its rapid growth during the railroad era, Moberly once thrived. Today, that shine is starting to fade. With a population of around 13,000, Moberly isn't as small as the others on this list. But the problems it faces are still very real and complex. The poverty rate hits 21%, and crime rates are also higher than Missouri's average. Still, there's a bit of hope. Moberly Area Community College. This campus offers a chance for a better future. But beneath that, many residents still struggle with low wages, aging infrastructure, and housing that's getting harder to maintain. Next up is Glasgow, a town with undeniable classic charm. Its historic buildings date back to the 19th century and still stand strong today. But behind the beauty, Glasgow is slowly aging. The population is just around 1,000, and most residents are elderly. The town is hardly growing. Its development rate is close to zero. Job opportunities are extremely limited, especially for young people trying to stay. The average household income is about $42,000 per year, but empty homes are starting to appear, a sign that many families have already left. Fayette looks like a typical small town in Howard County, but one thing keeps it alive: Central Methodist University. The presence of the campus is the heartbeat of the town, bringing in students from different places and helping the local economy, at least in the downtown area. But outside the busy academic world, reality is more grounded. household income is only around $39,000 per year, and nearly 20% of residents live in poverty. Beyond the campus zone, many people rely on low-wage jobs, and for those without a degree, opportunities are few. Then there's Exeter, well known among thrill seekers for its fall attraction, the Exeter Corn Maze and Haunted Barn. Still, the population doesn't even reach 700. There's no shopping center, no industrial area, and not much sound, just the wind blowing through old wooden homes. Statistical data on Exeter is scarce, not because it's hidden, but because barely anything has changed in years. Household income is estimated to be below $35,000, and the local economy mostly runs on farming and informal work. The school is still open, but classrooms are getting quieter. Young people leave, and those who remain stay not by choice, but because they have no other option. Higbee, located in the heart of Randolph County, feels more like a village than a town. Its population is only around 500. There's no university, no industrial zone, and almost no visible economic activity. Household income is about $40,000, enough to survive, but not enough to grow. Here, there's no major crime spike, nor is there extreme poverty, and that's part of the issue. Everything is flat, unchanged. And finally, Hayti, located in Pemiscot County, down in southern Missouri near the Tennessee border. With a population of about 2,300, Hayti may seem bigger than many towns on this list, but the numbers reveal serious challenges that remain unresolved. The poverty rate in Hayti is over 35%, one of the highest in the state. The average household income is just around $25,000 per year, and many families rely on government assistance to get by. Crime is also a concern, especially for a town this size.